All right. Welcome back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
Ah,
it's been a
it's been.
it's been you know what? Life been a life.
Yeah.
Been a life in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
It's
let's
been a
just
very, very, very long time. I
yeah.
think the last one was the episodes with our guests.
Yeah.
It's been a long minute.
It's been a minute. Life has really, we'll apologize. Life has been life in, finding time and life.
No, seriously. No, no, like no joke. So, like, first off, hi. We are
Hi.
ladies from MKC. I'm your girl, Chris.
And I'm your co-host Kim.
Yeah, and it has been a really, 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 really long time, guys.
Ah,
Like,
it's been a couple months.
yeah.
Well, happy New Year. Let's do that.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's a few months into the year,
St.
so we
Patrick's
almost
Day.
halfway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Happy Autism Awareness Month.
Um,
I mean, we
yeah.
might as well just keep hitting it
Happy
out.
St. Patrick's Day.
You
And
know, and, yeah.
happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yeah,
That
we're in
past
Easter
too.
month.
Yeah.
No,
So,
it's been a while.
it's been a
If you
while.
know your girls, we are full-time working women.
Yeah,
So as much,
trying to have a life.
yeah, as much as we would love to say that our lives outside of this have not taken up priority.
I wish I could say it hasn't, but kind of has.
Yeah, but
Things have been thinking.
they have been, but we are going to get back on this horse because
Yeah, I think we're gonna go back to basics for a little bit,
yes,
and
yeah,
we're just gonna pull us back,
pull us back.
pull us back.
Yeah, yeah. So this episode will all be definitely just audible. We have not
Be
pulled
careful
out.
how you say that.
I know.
It's gonna just be audio.
Audible. Yes.
Please don't sue us. We ain't got no money.
It's audio. So you will not see this visually, but you will hear it. You will listen, and
Just like how we did. We said back
yeah,
to
when we
basics. Let's
first
pull it
started,
back.
I know we had to just a little bit,
Just for a little while. Just give us a minute. My hair not done and things like that.
Editing takes a long time.
Editing takes a while.
It does take a minute.
Well, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It does take a minute. So we're gonna reset.
Let's do a reset. You know what? We actually have to do a reset.
Yeah.
Things have changed. A lot of
Yeah.
things have changed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna fall back and come back stronger.
Exactly.
That's what we're gonna do.
Exactly. So this episode we just really wanted to just talk about a recent con and what we experienced at it and how it was, and then definitely in the upcoming episodes we're definitely gonna like get into a little bit more of
What we do.
what we've been doing and what's been going on and just catching up.
And maybe we'll do more of these. We always go on little adventures and excursions.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do more of these, like little, hey, this is what we did.
Those check-ins. we'll kind of like checking things.
Yeah.
So recently, BookCon.
So we did participate.
Yeah.
In BookCon that was this past weekend in New York City, by Reedpop. We purchased these tickets last year.
Yeah.
Like almost a year to the day.
Yeah. So BookCon actually started
like 2012.
Yeah, definitely pre-pandemic.
Way pre.
But it was small and it started along within Comic-Con.
New York Comic Con.
Yeah, so New York Comic Con, and it was very small. It was outside the Javits. You actually had to walk towards it across from what is the Manhattan Theater, on was it 34th 34th Street. And when it did go live, then it did have like a nice little.
It was very small. It was cute.
Yeah, it had a good group of people. And it kept coming back in these little for like
So what I've
ways.
heard, and I don't think we know this little lore, the BookCon that we saw in New York Comic Con, because your girl over here joined the official BookCon group,
Of course you did. Like
as a
why
whole.
wouldn't
Why
you?
wouldn't
Yeah.
I? They actually, that was just a little preview of the actual convention. They actually had their own actual convention that we did not know about, that they did not even promote during these little
Oh,
previews
so
during New York
you're
Comic Con.
definitely gonna have to like let me know about that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what I was used to is what was
What we,
pre-pandemic, and the little book cons that they were trying to introduce during New York Comic Con. But the issue was it wasn't, because there was so much going on at the time. And at the time before they opened up what is it, the part of the Javits
Javits
building,
North.
yeah, before they opened up that side, it was just the main floor of the Javits. And so because there was so many shows, so many panels and
Panels.
so many things, they couldn't keep it. They had it at Madison Square Garden, they had the
You know how many
Manhattan
panels I
Theater,
went to at
and then
Madison Square
BookCon was
Garden?
in a separate area. So everywhere you had to go to see a certain panel, you had to like, if it wasn't at the Javits, you had to leave
It
the
was a trek.
Javits, trek out there, see what you had to see, and then trek back. So it was crazy before the pandemic. Um, but BookCon was small, and then one year, because I guess they figured it wasn't as successful, they stopped it.
They stopped it in 2020.
Yeah.
That was the last book con, quote unquote. And so this is a comeback from 6 years.
Mm.
Now we also know during pandemic, Book Talk has taken over. And
Ridiculously.
it's so huge. It has such a huge
Yeah.
community, has such a huge following that millennials, Gen Zers, and everybody is now into book. Mind you, we ourselves are very much book peoples. The amount we grew up on books.
Oh, yeah.
So
Avid
we
readers.
avid readers. I would at one time in my life was reading 7 books at one time and could follow every single storyline and could tell you every
Exactly.
single thing was happening in a book. Can I
Yeah.
do that now in my old age?
No.
No.
I think it's really difficult because now we have audibles, we have library books that you can now listen to, you have comics that you can read on your phone, you have so much content in books nowadays that's hard to keep up.
It is. It's so hard to keep up
And
with my
in
books.
our lives today, especially a lot of millennials and older um generations,
Mm-hmm.
we are so like 40 hours a week, and then trying to fit in a book at the same time has been so difficult. Like even I'm crashing at like I'm surprised, like if I'm up past 9, I'll be crashing.
Let
So
me explain something. For me to honestly read a book right now and turn
yeah,
of page is very hard. And I do try. And there are a couple of books I'm like, yo, I'm gonna read this book.
right.
But and I have a lot on my TBR of actual reads I need to
Mm-hmm.
read. Um but definitely it's so hard when you're working 40 hours a week,
Oh yeah.
have a whole house,
And
you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you
uh,
got and
relationships
relationships to foster,
and events and stuff
and
that you're doing, and yeah.
your calendar is packed,
Oh yeah.
and your calendar is fogging.
Yeah, your weekends are packed, you're doing stuff, so it's very difficult
It's very difficult.
in some aspects. But at the end of the day, we still keep books at the core of our spirit, whether we're listening to it, whether we can catch a quick moment to turn a page, or whatever we can do, we do it as much as we can. And it's still, we're still lovers of the
I
of a
love
good
a good
page
new
turner.
book smell. Oh, that'll get me every time.
So going
Can't
up.
go into Barnes and Nobles without getting at least a book.
Oh, never leaving
I will
without one.
spend 6 hours in Barnes and Nobles and get lost.
Yeah, 100%. When we were
Borders, Walden Books.
when we were
Showing my age.
Borders too. When we were kids, I mean, we have to be blessed with our family. One of the things my mom used to do with us is take us to the library. We would go on the weekends, we would take out a bunch of books, we would put a bunch of books back. And then if we ever took trips into the city when we were kids, one of the best stops was Barnes and Nobles, and we would spend hours there, and she would only allow us to get a couple books.
I think it was like 2 to 3 books, and then I'm standing there with a pile of 17
And you have to
I have to choose which ones I want. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and read this one. Okay,
right.
tell me when y'all ready.
Right. Right. And that was like our nerdum at its best.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that's what kept us, in up at night and reading and interested in you know
Other
keeping other
worlds and other
worlds.
genres,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful to our parents because we are full genre readers.
Yeah.
We do not stick to one genre.
No.
So I can read something from horror, but then
Right.
can read a mystery,
Right.
but then can read a thriller, but then can go right into romance and highly
Or
enjoy
a
it. Go
fantasy.
into a fantasy, go into
Right.
sci-fi,
Right.
and enjoy every genre for what it is. I
Yeah.
think the only one I'm really not a big thing on is nonfiction.
Right.
Um, I
Yeah.
do stick more to fiction. That's me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. Me too.
Um, I think real life is already crazy as it is. And
Right.
as much as I would love to read about your life or something that happened in history, I am not that much of that person.
I think it depends on how it was done. Like, I don't mind, like, an interesting topic. Like, I have pirate books, and I
I
have
love, oh, and I'm thinking
um
like Dear America series.
yeah, I have
Love
Norse,
those.
And Greek, and
Mythology is my
I
go-to
have a lot of
one.
mythology, and I have a lot of
So never mind what I just said
I think it depends on what type
of not a
of
nonfiction.
nonfiction. But outside of that, we were very excited to jump into BookCon. I mean, when we heard
Oh,
last year that was coming back, we were like, "Oh, bet
we gotta go.
we got to go." At New York Comic Con, actually, last year they had a little preview, and it was cute. It was a little cute little
I'm
stall.
me
It
still
was, it was adorable, but it was like, okay, so it's getting us amped for
the major
the
one.
major one.
Because we bought the tickets back in what it had to be like May of
I believe,
last.
yeah, because it was
Yeah,
before
it was way before.
Comic
It
Con.
was May, and it was okay. So it is by the same people who do New York Comic Con.
Reedpop.
So it's Reedpop, and they did the online ticket sales.
Yeah.
We decided to do the weekend,
Which
which
was only
was only $100,
$100,
which was great
pretty
for
great
us. It
price.
was in the ticket range. They only did the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike cons that usually do
I
3 or 4
believe it was
days.
what, $60 for a
$60 per
day,
day.
100 for the weekend, and then they had VIP, and then apparently it's super
Premium
premium
VIP.
VIP. Yeah.
So regular VIP, you got a swag bag, you got the VIP lounge. That was costing upwards of $400
Mm-hmm.
per person. And then premium VIP, you got the choice of the ARCs, which is the advanced reader copies, and lining up for different signings for authors and things like that.
Right.
And that was upwards to $900, almost including taxes and fees. You're talking about $1,000 per person.
Right.
Your girls ain't made of money, all right?
Sure ain't.
So we happily paid for our weekend ticket.
Sure did.
General admission.
Sure did.
All right. We walked in and
Yeah.
we stood with everybody else.
Sure did. Somewhere earlier this year they dropped the reservations where you would get the opportunity to reserve to see your favorite author or to reserve a certain panel. I'll be honest with you guys, I was working at the time and couldn't get in, but my friend who we also helped get a ticket, I could tell you, it was
It
not.
was mayhem.
Yeah, I
And
believe within a half hour
and
reservations
they were
gone.
gone. So okay, so they did drop the first wave of tickets, right?
Right.
They saw how much we loved it so much, it sold out within an hour.
Right. About, what was that, like, four at that time? It was like, was that the
Yeah,
4,000?
it was like at the 4,000 max. I think they
Yeah.
were going, and they sold out in an hour. We thankfully all of us was on it, and
We were
we
in and
got our
out.
tickets.
Thank God.
We were in and out. Thank you.
I got in, got them all, got out.
That's how we usually try to do, right? Then they decided to do a second wave of tickets.
Yeah.
We did not
Because
care.
there was an uproar that it wasn't even an hour. It's like a half hour. They were gone.
It was
By
just-
like a half hour, 45 minutes tops, they were like sold out.
Mhm.
So people were complaining because they were like, I didn't even get to get in. And so they did another one.
So they did a second drop. We did not care about the second drop. We were fine. We are like, we got our tickets. We all right.
Yeah.
They paid for.
Right.
So second drop went through. Done. I did join the official BookCon group on Facebook, which I'm not really on like that. And we, just hearing about certain things. Reservations came out. Reservations were a dub. So we, you know what, we decided we're just gonna go
An experience.
and experience. We're going for the vibes,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Going for the vibes.
Well, this weekend, past weekend came.
We are, as y'all know, we are very avid con goers. We've gone to multiple cons. We have badges from different ones. This is what we
Mm-hmm.
do. So we are packed and prepared
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a con on a
And it
Saturday.
was interesting because in this instance, going through their rules and regulations, one of the things they definitely said was they didn't want any rolling bags. That everyone that had like a suitcase or rolling bags or they had strollers and stuff, they had to have them checked in. They didn't want anything being rolled, which as a person who's thinking I'm going to get tons of books, I want to be able to not have to carry all that on my back. I want to roll it. I'm going to bring a, not a small card. I'm going to bring something like that. To hear to see that, it was like, damn. All right,
Yeah.
so we were trying to find alternatives, but at the end, we just went with book bags.
We went with book bags, which I think honestly, and then we honestly packed for an actual full on
Con.
day convention.
Right.
We got up early. We said this is where we're meeting, guys. We're going to walk it through. We're going to,
Yeah. So
do what we do.
yeah. So getting into it, we got there, y'all. It was freaking
We
packed.
okay, just to put it out there. BookCon was not in main Javits, not in the Crystal Palace. It was only on
Mm,
Javits
no.
North. So we had to line up at 11th and 38th.
Mm-hmm.
We took our regular schmegular walking as if we were going to con, knowing there's a queue hall, there's this,
Mm-hmm.
there's that, where it's gonna be all right. We and we took a little bit of time. We went, we got breakfast. We knew how cons go. By the time we get there, we're like, it'll be all right. It's not a big deal. Walking down the Crystal Palace towards 38th and 11th, on 11th, we saw.
Not gonna even front, guys. I was in the front, and Kim and our friends were in the back, and I'm walking with my fiance, and I turned the minute I started to see the crowd, I turned and looked at them, big eye, because I was like, y'all have got to be joking. It was ridiculously packed outside in the sun, and I can't even describe to you the amount of people that was there, and they had us lined up in a zigzag formation. um
Mind
so
you, it did not open until 10.
yeah.
By the time we walked up, it had to be like maybe 8:50,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
8:55.
yeah, yeah, closer to 9. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
was, because we were there for an hour. We got in the
For an
line. We
hour.
were all the way in the back at this point, and we wasn't even the back because
We
more people were
wasn't.
behind us. Long story short, within this hour time frame, because I really want to get to the meat of getting into the con, um they started doing something, which is the lines. They started taking the lines, because if you think of a zigzag formation, kind of like a snake formation type, so we're all tightly packed in this area, in this, like, waiting in this line, so
Outside.
outside in the heat.
The
And
sun is
so
beating.
we're just kind of like, when are we moving? Because we already saw VIP go in. Now we're just like, there's so many people out here. You can't tell us that at 10 o'clock exactly you're going to start shoving us all inside. And so I would have to say about a quarter to 10, they started flushing out the lines that were in the middle, and they definitely let them in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they blocked off those lines and kind of turned our line into this big, like, square. And so now we're moving around, and then they fill those lines back up with people, and we're all now facing the north. All lines now are facing the north tower.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, oh hell no. So people who were behind us are now next to me or in the front, and I'm like, are they gonna let them in first? Because they already just let the whole middle section in, and that was wild. And so then they let us in from the left side, and I believe after they let everyone on the left side in, then they would start letting in other lines. But To me, that was
And
just asinine because it was just kind of like, what was the point of lining us up this way to then let people who were in behind the people who've been waiting since the dawn of time in the middle into the building, and then everyone, like, it made no
I
sense.
don't know. I honestly 100% feel if you were in that line with us, easy,
Yeah.
easy 10,000 people in this
Oh,
line.
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
And that was before we lined up. Behind us, come to find out that the line went way past 34th Street, down the block.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we had a friend in that
Yeah,
line.
and they're like, we're just in the line waiting. What do you mean?
It
We
was
thought they
crazy.
were in their car.
Crazy. So they let us in. I have to say, security was pretty quick
It was
compared.
one,
I
two,
have to say,
three.
compared to if you've been to a con, for New, and especially a NYCC con, you would be used to the badges. And don't get me wrong, a lot of us prefer the badges, but to actually have it on your phone and do a quick scan in and out, I think that was really smooth. Honestly, to
It was
me,
very smooth.
yeah,
Day one,
yeah, I
a
feel like
hundred.
way better way to just quickly get through instead of like the badges, because a lot of people, it was on their phone. We were able to easily connect our badges to
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 the
the app.
app.
And
Once we were able to get the badges, yes, and the
yeah,
app, it was very seamless,
yeah,
which was cool. And they even said you cannot have a picture. It has, excuse me, it has to be the actual app,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it if y'all ever been on the LIRR, you know how it be moving.
It keeps moving.
It keeps moving.
Keeps
It's
it
the same. It's
fresh.
keep
Yeah, yeah,
refreshing
yeah.
it. So, and it even lit up my phone and my brightness, because I keep my brightness pretty low on my phone.
Right.
So it was great.
So getting in, here's, I'm gonna give you guys an idea of how they broke up everything. So as you come in, there's nothing on that main floor but just like different seats where you could rest as well as coat check. Now downstairs we had Indie Alley, we had the Barnes and Noble's bookstore, and as well as the other major bookstores.
Just two other major bookstores,
And then
and it was six, no, no, four rows
yes,
of vendors.
yes, pretty
Just,
much
just
4 rows of vendors, and then there was like 4 rows of Indie Alley, pretty much.
it was like
Three
three
to
or four
four rows of Indie Alley, and then in between all of that, was
towards
but
the
towards the back,
back.
you had the 3 bookstores, which is Barnes and Nobles.
Boddens.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the name.
yes,
Um,
and Good, was it Good Read?
I
Good Green,
believe
Green
good
Read. She'll
green.
get the names.
I'm gonna
So
get the
then,
names
and
first.
then behind them was the autographs. So
So
those
the
were
rip bodice, the rip bodice.
the rib bodice,
I
and
know that's one
so
of them.
and then behind that was the
Signing.
reserved autographs for different authors.
Yes.
So that was the bottom floor. Then once you go upstairs, then that's the
So
floor.
that
The
was level one.
that
Level two was where
the
we came
choke in
in.
and where we came in. Level
Level three,
3 was more vendors, and it was only six
six
rows.
rows of more vendors. We also had Penguin,
Yes,
Simon and Schuster. We had
Scholastic.
Scholastic, big publishing companies, and also a lot of indie publishing companies were there, but also a lot of vendors. I had a friend who was working there. Amazing.
Small
I always,
vendors, big
yeah,
vendors,
it
all in
was
this main floor. And then more amongst the vendors or amongst the different publishing companies, more
signings.
autographs. Then you go to the fourth floor.
Yes.
The fourth floor, there was the Audible House. And then they had some panels.
They had panels there.
Yeah.
There was also overnight there was the murder mystery
Yes.
that happened there,
And
and
that's where they were. And then the fifth floor
the fifth floor, which was
main
main stage,
as well as the
as well as the BookCon fantasy
fantasy ball.
ball. Pajama night was also on the fourth floor.
Yes.
So it was mixed.
When you come in, you have to think about it. First floor is at the bottom. Second floor is the floor that you come in on. Third floor is more vendors and publishers and mini publishers and small vendors. Then you have the fourth floor
Panels
panels
and the
and quiet room and Audible, and then fifth floor is main stage. So that's how it was laid out in this one building, cut off from the rest of the Javits. So there
We
were
were only in Javits North.
north, period. There's no moving around. We're not on the main floor. If you went to the bottom floor and you tried to exit all the way to the left side, which would go into the main part of Javits, they were telling you that you were exiting the Javits. So you were actually having to scan
Scan out.
out, which was crazy because you were still in the Javits.
So you were exiting BookCon essentially.
Yeah,
And
they
if
considered that you exiting, period, which was weird because it was just like, why don't you just make a line to just allow people to just come back around so that they can go towards the north, away from the main floor of the Javits? But that was just one of so many
so
things.
many things happen. So nitty gritty, we decided to start at the bottom and work our way up.
Yeah,
Uh, when
getting in pretty early ish
ish, we
on
got
the
in
first day,
about
Saturday. Yeah,
10:15 ish, I
yeah,
would say, after standing outside and then going through and then kind of trying to decide what we wanted to do. Then as soon as we got inside, we had to use the bathroom and get something to drink. We was outside for so long.
yeah, yeah, because we were literally standing in the sun. So when we just took a minute, but when we actually got to a chance to walk around, it wasn't
It
like, it
wasn't
was so
bad. It was
cute.
so cute. I'll be honest. First aisle, we stopped within 3 seconds.
Yeah, we did all the things you shouldn't do. And the one things you shouldn't do at any first con is buy everything that you see. And so, because there will be either a better price later on, or there'll be an opportunity to come back around and get it. But I think in this aspect it did work out for us, because and later on we did realize when we tried to buy things the next day, they
They
were
were
gone.
gone.
So it did work out for us, but didn't work out for
Yeah,
us.
I was like, we are vets. Stop being amateurs.
We were stopping at like every stall, but it was cute
It was
because
cute.
there were vendors that were the small time selling stickers or
Yeah.
selling books, and we're having conversations with them and talking to them about how they got started and things like that. So it was nice to be able to do that, but it was at a time where there weren't that many people
Mm-hmm.
too far in just yet.
Right.
I would say by the time we got to the second row, it started filling up,
Yeah,
and it started getting
definitely.
crowded, and the line started forming like crazy.
Yeah.
And this is
Now,
where,
mind you,
yeah,
this is also a huge pet peeve of mine that did happen. We were only could go up or down either elevator or escalator.
right,
There were
no
no
stairs,
stairs,
no stairs.
which is a big safety hazard.
Oh yeah, and the thing about the stairs too is the ups escalator wasn't working, so you're literally physically walking up. So imagine if, god forbid, anything had happened, we're all tumbling over each other.
Yep.
Because again, the escalators all the way to the left side
It's
of
closed
that
off.
floor were closed off, or it was considered an exit. So you had to think, I'm either exiting this whole book con and I have to scan out to, even though I'm in
Scan
the
back in.
building, to then walk across to scan back in to the same damn building. So a lot of people ended up just filing through on the right side, which was causing a lot of backed up
Bottleneck.
issues and bottlenecking. And it was very unsafe. I have
It
to
was
say that.
very unsafe. And the thing is, we only had one up and one down escalator on every other floor except for level one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when people got out of certain panels and things, and then everyone decided, oh, I'm going downstairs.
Yeah.
The line,
It was
because there's
ridiculous.
only one escalator to go down
And go up.
and go up.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm so
was
sorry. It
ridiculous.
was just unsafe in
It-
that aspect for me. I was like, this is not
It
safe.
really was.
And you're waiting in line to go down and up some stairs.
Yeah. I think one of the things was because it was the way they had put everything, where pretty much the bottom floor, the second floor was null and void. The third and fourth floor really had some, well, the third floor, and I feel like the first floor really had the most stuff. The third floor was okay with
The fourth floor.
the fourth floor, I mean, was okay with the Audible house.
But you had a lot of space on the fourth floor too. You could have sat down and just,
Yeah, but
chilled.
there was really nothing there that was really there's no
Nothing
vendors, no
else.
nothing. It was just like
It was just
Audible
rooms.
House, panels, and the quiet room. And then the fifth floor, there's no point if you didn't have a reservation.
Correct.
So it was kind of like you could only really stick to the first and the third floor
Yep.
to do anything. When it started getting a lot more people, I felt like me and we needed a break.
We
We all
needed a
needed
break.
a mini break. We took a break outside. We
It was a
needed to
beautiful
breathe.
day.
Yeah, gorgeous. But we needed a break. It started becoming a little overwhelming with the amount of people, because when you really think about it, it was just like we're all in this really tight space. I think what we weren't expecting was how small, in terms of the aisles, everything was. Like, you put literally just 4 floors of vendors downstairs, as
Mm-hmm.
well as then right next to them is 3 to 4 rows of indie artists, like
And
Artist
they're
Alley.
packed next to each other.
Right. Then right in between the bigger bookstores, Barnes and
And
Nobles,
those lines were
and all of this. And
atrocious.
then right behind them
Is
is
signings.
signings for different
Authors.
authors. And the way they set it up, it was just so chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the lines were the main issue,
Mm-hmm.
because lines are blocking aisles. There's like, oh, there's an author here, but it's blocking. Like, people are lined up around the corners to see them, and it's blocking this area. And it was worse on the third floor, because I wasn't expecting there to be authors up there, but because certain published houses had certain authors, they had people lined up around the corner around them, and they're blocking the rows.
So
So
you
trying to
can't see
walk down
vendors.
these rows, you're like, I'm not even going to walk down there, because it is so jammed with people. And then at one point there was like one, I think it wasn't Simon and Schumer. It wasn't Penguin.
Harper.
No. It was Strand.
Strand. I didn't even
Strand
see
bookstore.
Strand.
It was on the third floor. It was like pretty much in the center. And it had like 4 lines around Strand. And the thing is, you didn't know which line was for which. You didn't know if it was for the bookstore. You didn't know if it was for an author. You didn't know what it was for. You didn't know if it was for the free ebook. You didn't know what it was for. But the fact is, it had like 4 lines wrapped around this place, and they were blocking like all the aisles. And it was just ridiculous. And it was just like we were just trying to avoid that area, because it was just so chaotic. You didn't know who was standing where for what. And that happened at quite a few different vendors and publishing houses. And it was just like that first day, we were like, yeah, no.
We walked a lot. We saw as much as we could.
Yeah, day, yeah.
And it got to a point where feeling that your backpack was just hitting people.
Right. Which really wasn't
It
have
really
anything
wasn't.
in it.
It had nothing in it besides what I brought from my house.
Right.
And so it started at 10. It first day it went till 7. We left at 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we were done by 2:30. We took a break at 3.
Till like 3, yeah.
Kim went and helped her friend out quite a bit. By 3 we were outside just waiting to go, and we were like, we're gonna go out to eat now. We're done. And
that's a whole nother issue, was the food. Go ahead.
And we left, because at that point it was just like, it just felt like we couldn't get down the aisles we wanted to. We couldn't see everything we wanted to, and we were like, at this point,
We're
seen what we
overwhelmed.
can see. At that day we didn't get to go to the fourth floor at all. And we knew I wasn't going to the fifth floor because we didn't have a reservation, so there was no point. So we were just kind of like, all right, we're done. And we never leave a con this early, any con. So it was kind of like a little disappointing for Kim and I, because we were just like, okay.
And mind you, we did buy it. We spend money at cons. It's
Oh,
not we are like that.
And things we
And
like and want.
we stopped. We got a few things on the first day, but the thing was, like, I was like, I'm so disappointed that I went to a book con and I didn't pick up a book.
Yeah.
And
You didn't leave with a
I
single
didn't
book.
leave with, and I wasn't going for the advanced reader copies. I wasn't, I was going to enjoy the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Really overwhelmed. And Not that I didn't meet some amazing vendors on day one, and talk to a few people. My friend was there. I got to talk to her and how she was doing. And um, it was just like by three, I was like, I'm even done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And
I mean, we bought little things. There were like stickers, and
and
there was
we got free
free
bags.
bags, and we had, we made little things, and we signed up for things, and um it was cute. But overall, the point was, we thought we were going to be leaving with mad books.
That okay, BookCon before was
Hmm.
you went, you got a free a couple, maybe one or two advanced reader copies, nothing crazy. But like I was like, if we all get different books, we all friends, we gonna trade.
Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
gonna trade it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But coming and finding out that these big lines and things was for these advanced reader copies and people were acting crazy.
Crazy. Hmm.
I am not about it. We are New Yorkers. We are
Hmm.
not, you are not going to push me and act uncivilized for a book,
Right. Not gonna
which
happen.
I might buy anyway.
Right. Not for a book.
Not for a book.
Not for a book.
Not for a book. Um, the food issue, there was no real food.
Yeah.
We are so used to conventions, even Anime NYC, having food trucks
Yeah.
or actual food. They did have the empanada people
Mm-hmm.
on day two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was so bad that people ran out of food. The booths that had food ran out of food,
Yeah.
and they had to turn people away.
That's crazy.
Also, there was alcohol at this convention too,
Sure
so
was.
very adult. Um, but it was, and you pay Javits prices. You're just used to it,
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's
you're
the
at a
city.
convention.
Yeah.
Um, but it was just a little too much
Day
on day
one.
one. And I know a lot of people were there on day one, come to find out that they sold upwards of 25,000 tickets and they were not prepared.
They sure weren't. They really weren't.
They didn't even prepare the vendors.
That's crazy.
Remember, we did speak to this gorgeous book truck.
Oh, I can't.
Salt,
I love them.
Salty Bay, I believe I'm gonna actually
Yeah.
get the name of them. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Bought
Uh,
some stuff from them.
the
Amazing.
cutest book truck
In the world.
in the world.
So cute.
It's two beautiful ladies out of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Adorable.
we is one of our first stops.
Yeah, and then there was a lovely little sticker store there
Who
too.
is
Very
very family oriented.
family and Filipino based, but they had Pokemon cards and pins, and they had a whole bunch of different things that was just so adorable. And we stopped there. Cute.
It was,
I mean, there are highlights where even that day, even though it was crazy, we did have some different
oh my
places that were
gosh.
adorable. I think one of the my favorite parts of the day was my two friends, which Rabina, you guys have met, Bina, Queen Bina, in the last episode, and then our friend Coley Baby, Nicole, they stopped at this one author, and her whole book was about motorcycle
Motorcycle
men, a
romance.
little more into the romance smut area. And the way she advertised it was she had a lot of biker guys with no shirts on, with biker helmets on, and they got to take pictures with them and get a free
And
copy
they
of her
got an
second
arc.
book. And that was the whole point. Like, they had it, they enjoyed that because it drew them in, and it drew a lot of people in. So it was really smart advertisement on her end. But overall, like, that first day experience, I mean, literally, I would say, out of if we had to rate it out of a 5,
I give it a 5.
like a 1 to 5
Oh, out of 1 to
experience.
5
Yeah.
experience. Oh, I was thinking out of 10.
No.
I 2.5, 3.
Oh, you're with me. I definitely, you're being nice. I say 2.5. They're
I was
lucky.
doing two and a half.
They're lucky they're getting the 5, the 0.5 on that one.
It was chaotic, and that is a good word. It was really chaotic.
Yeah. It was a lot. Um, but and it really made us think, because we had the weekend tickets. Should we even go back the next day? Because it was just was, did we feel like we really saw everything that we could, and should we even go back the next day? Is it worth it? Because that night, not only were videos coming out about, and Kimberly could talk about the ball, um
The
and
ball.
I will just touch on the fact that people were selling their tickets by that night if they had the weekend tickets.
By the time we left at 3, I being a part of it already and of the official group, people were on there just selling their tickets.
Yeah.
Just selling, just going in. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, people are really just selling off their next day tickets. We had already decided we were going to come back, but we weren't going to do an early trek. We were we were
I
like
mean, that night after you see that and then you see the ball and you're like, do I really want to? But yeah, we were like, you know what? We paid the
paid for
money.
it. We're gonna go, even if we just get the little things we didn't see. We're gonna
But
try it out.
and we were like, you know what? We're not going early.
We taking our sweet time.
We're gonna take our time before, and we're gonna get there, and
we get there when we get there.
right. Well, before we go on to that, talk about that.
So fantasy ball was Saturday night. Women were dressed to the nines for the fantasy ball, even throughout. Some were already pre-dressed when they got there. So they were like, if I'm gonna wear this outfit, I'm wearing this outfit all day.
Yeah.
So lineup for fantasy ball was at 8. Lineup for fantasy ball, I believe, was 6:30. Some people did decide after the chaoticness of the day they were not going to the fantasy ball. They were just going to enjoy their night in their hotels, wherever they stayed. People that did go, fantasy ball was at main stage, 5th floor. Fantasy ball had a DJ. Fantasy ball was just an open space.
Yeah.
With dim lights. They weren't even strobe.
Yeah, no. They were the ones that just
blue, green, colorful red.
Disco looking.
Yeah. You can see a lot of these on the Tiki Taki.
Yeah, check it out for yourself. Very disappointing.
I was very happy that we weren't going to do that anyway.
Thank God.
There was no food at the fantasy ball.
Crazy.
They did have a quote unquote glam bot, but the wait for the glam bot was over an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Probably the most exciting thing in the room. I'm sorry.
There weren't tables. The DJ wasn't playing whimsical music that went with a fantasy ball.
Like EDM.
It was very EDM. It was very I'm in the club.
Yeah, I didn't
music.
But my whole thing was when I saw the video, I was like, they couldn't even put like a fake tree. I was like, they couldn't even put like a garland up, like something, like
there were no decorations.
Backdrop, like a backdrop.
The backdrop was on the main screen. It said BookCon.
Oh my god,
it was the BookCon
like that
emblem.
is torturous to me. Like you couldn't even like give it the whimsical fantasy that you like. People are coming dressed as like fairy elves and fairies and wings and like these like
I wanted, you know what I wanted to be
stuff.
Midsummer's Night Dream.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be
whimsy,
fantastical. Not at all. Not at all.
Wasn't whimsy at all.
So next day 2.
Wait. Before you keep going, so they also did have a pajama party. From what I understand from the pajama party, we were thinking maybe if we knew earlier we would have done the pajama party. But from the pajama party, they had a little cart in the beginning that was like, take one, and they gave away like a sticker. And everyone's like, you ain't even give us popcorn for the pajama party. So supposedly they watched some movie and people just did not stay.
Of course not.
Then they also had bingo night that night.
Oh, did they?
And people who won, they was like, we don't have enough bingo cards. They were like, they're digital cards. Fine, cool. Totally into electronics. Everybody has a phone. So everybody did that. Bingo. The gifts for bingo were bookmarks and stickers. So it was not, there was no like book. There was no nothing.
It's killing me.
I did not hear anything about the murder mystery. I did not hear good, bad, or uglies.
I don't have high hopes for it right now. I'm a murder mystery chick. Mind you, to get into this murder mystery, it wasn't a reservation.
No.
And it wasn't you could just go. You needed to fill out this quiz. And if you got the right book at the end of the quiz, they would email you that you got accepted to go to this mystery. Right. Who that knew about that? Not
Not
us.
us. Not
Not
us.
us.
I think we just because we work 40-hour weekdays, maybe 60-hour weekdays, and we were just like, yo, we going.
Mind you, I had been taking that quiz a long while ago,
I could
and
have taken that quick.
and I
I ain't
I got a good book look out of it. Like I was like, oh, I want to go get this book, which mind you, they didn't have at the con.
You were so mad.
It was Murder at the
Hotel.
Hotel Orient.
Mm-hmm.
It suggested this sounds pretty interesting. I'm looking all over this con for it, and they don't have the book. Mind you, another problem I had was, and I'm going to touch on it quickly before we move on to the next day, is that the bookstores like Barnes and Nobles, they could only sell certain authors. So authors that were at the con, they were only allowed to sell their books. So they were given a list of these authors, and those were the only authors that you could find within that bookstore.
Yep.
And I thought that was crazy. So I'm thinking, I'm coming to BookCon to buy books, but you only have a certain selection of authors.
Only the ones that were there on Saturday and Sunday.
Right. None like, oh, I want an Agatha Christie book. You're not going to find it there. You got to go to Barnes and Nobles outside of here because they're not selling anything outside of the authors at the con, which was wild. So you're at a book con and you're not even selling full books.
I need the books for people that not here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Crazy. So anyway, day two.
Day two.
We got there around 11 something.
We honestly, we was like sleeping. We gonna go get some breakfast. We gonna take.
We
the
strolled.
Long... We strolled.
And mind you, the weather was completely opposite from the day
It
before.
was cold.
It was cold. It was wet. There was one point I was doing the Michael Jackson lean outside because that wind from that water was winding. The girls were walking. I said, y'all gonna wait. It is blowing me away. And it sure was.
Look, we strolled so much. We went to Target before we even went to book.
Sure did. Took our time.
Took our time. I bought me a scarf blanket.
Sure did.
We was
and
stroll.
And here's the wild part. So we get there like 11.
I say like 11:15.
15. There was not a line outside. We were able to easily stroll in, scan our stuff, and go straight to where we wanted to go. There was no lines, there was no thickness, there was no. I was like, I don't know if it was due to the weather or mad people selling their tickets, but you could tell right away it was lighter.
Yeah.
So instead what we decided to do is we decided to go to the fourth floor because that was the one floor we didn't get to experience the day before. And when we got up there, like we mentioned, there really was nothing there. There were people there like sitting or whatever, but there were panels that we really didn't want to see. And then there was the Audible House. So the Audible House is a upcoming attraction coming to New York City in May. Actually,
it's only for 1 month,
and it's only for 1 month. And the interesting part about it is that here at the con, it was just to give you an experience of what you're going to experience when they open in May. And so they only had just over 100 different stories and books that you could listen to, while at the one that's going to open in May in the city, you'll be able to experience over 1,000 books and stuff like that. And I thought the beauty of experiencing it here was you got to hear different stories that may interest you. They have these little blocks that have the stories on them. You put the blocks into, just slide it into this little like sliding thing, and then you put on, it starts the story. You put on the headphones, you can hear the story, and if you really are interested in it, you can tap it on your phone, and if you have Audible on your phone, it'll automatically download it to your phone. So I thought that was a pretty cool aspect. Myself and my friend stayed. Kim went down because she didn't get to.
I really wanted to go to the official store. So the cool thing was that even though we didn't have badges, they were selling a badge, like a physical badge, for like $10. And I was like, dude, I want the badge because we've done this for so many years. I was like, I just want the badge. So I did stay in that long line to get my badge, which was $10.
So while she pivoted downstairs, we went through the Audible House, which they had coffee, and then they had the listening area, and then you also got a free bag. but we came at a time when they started setting up for some authors, and it was a really tight space. And also, your bag could be embroidered with your name on it. So they had a live person literally embroidering your name,
Oh
but
wow,
they kept the line.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah, because every person getting a free bag. I mean, that's
It's a free bag and free embroidering, but embroidering
yeah,
is expensive, yo. It take a
for
lot.
real. It really did. But it was a nice little experience. But once we came out, we realized there really wasn't much to do. So we were like, all right, let's go back downstairs. Let's go back to the first floor. We met up with Kim on the third
I was
floor.
right there on the third floor. I was like 3 people in.
Right. But again, now that we're on back on the third floor, it was way more
Empty.
empty. And Kim had found out from her friend who was running her booth that
They had really listened on day one and pivoted and actually, I mean, it was also probably because of the rain
yeah,
and the wind. It was cold. They let people into the queue line like they were supposed to.
yes,
And slowly, and in the queue hall, if you have not done it before, the queue hall keeps y'all queued correctly,
right.
line by line by line by
Right.
line.
If you came in the first line, you stay in the first line. If
You
you
sit,
came in
you
the fourth
chill.
line, you stay in the fourth line. That's how it is. But you don't get to be fourth line and then head to the first.
First, right. So it was better. She said they did listen. She says it seemed a lot more, felt a lot better. It was a little bit more organized.
And on top of that, they tightened the lines.
Oh yeah.
The lines were not all in the aisle. They were up against the booths. They were up against the vendors area. So it felt more airy. It felt more spacious. And we could actually go down the aisles we weren't able to before. So it was really good feeling that we could do that. And this experience the different parts that we didn't get to the day before.
Yeah, and then we even went back to other vendors that we had seen the day before, and we, got some pictures and got some stuff, and
Yeah.
I even bought Mad Labs, mwah, chef's kiss on these perfumes of
Yeah.
so amazing, but yeah, it was definitely a lot calmer experience,
Yeah.
and we were able to get books.
Yeah.
We actually got books.
Yeah, we were actually able to get a nice indie book from one author. Kimmy got a whole series
I
from
got the
her.
whole series from her.
I
I'm so
got
excited.
one. It's a steampunk murder mystery. I'm excited to read. I also got a comic, hardcover book about little horrors, and then I also got a lovely little another murder mystery book, which I'm excited to read.
I did get that whole book series, and I was very excited about
Mm-hmm.
getting that book. We did get a free book, a sleuth book,
Mm-hmm.
as well. Um, I do have to say the book selection for me, I do love every kind of book, but it was just so much romance.
Oh yeah, smut was the top
Was the top.
because of book talk.
It is because of book talk, and I'm all about a sometimes smut, but I also love me a good Frida McFadden. All
Right.
right.
Oh gosh.
I
And I think she just wasn't as prevalent there because again, only certain books were being sold.
Correct. Like, and this is my opinion, there's a certain book I just don't see, romance book, that I just don't see I'm not gonna say the book.
Right.
I just
appeal.
don't see the appeal. I don't
And
know.
it's been advertised.
It was advertised everywhere.
It was.
And I even turned to Chris. I was like, I refuse to buy something from this book because I just didn't like it.
Right.
It was not on my top.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I read it and I took the time. It was a long book. Borrowed it twice.
Yeah.
To finish it. And I was just like, no.
The story wasn't.
The story did not story me.
Right.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. But other than that, I think the second time around was way better.
I think it's because so many people did not want to go.
Yeah.
After seeing the videos and we're like, what am I getting myself into?
Yes.
But going for these little vendors, for us, that's what cons are all about.
Yeah.
Finding something new, going for the little vent. It felt like how it should have felt Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may have been still about maybe 10,000 people, but you could also see the tiredness in people's
Oh yeah. Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. I think it was with the weather and the chaos of the day before. I think a lot of people bowed out because it was just like I'm not going to put myself through that. Which gave an opportunity for a lot of us that were like avid, like we're gonna try it, we're gonna give it a shot, the opportunity to actually feel it and
Hmm.
actually go through it and experience it in a way better, well mannered way. So I was,
It was still in spots, a little clustered,
no, nothing as
but
crazy as the day
nothing
before.
as crazy. We didn't feel it as crazy. Uh, we did stay till 5 because I did help my friend close up her booth.
Yeah, but
But
I think what I appreciated was when we were done by like, again, we were done by like 3. This time I was satisfied.
yeah,
I was satisfied to have been done at that time because then I really felt I went through everything. I experienced everything I wanted to experience. I bought everything I actually wanted and felt like buying. And by that point, I felt more comfortable knowing that, okay, I did it. I went through it. I went through everything. I saw who I had to see. We went through Indie Alley perfectly. We went
we
through,
really
we we
did.
we walked through, and we took our time just going through it. We went through the whole third floor and felt comfortable, and by the time it was like, all right, we'll sit and wait until you guys are done and wrapped up and we'll go from there. I was comfortable. I was like, I didn't feel
We felt
anyway. I
good.
started reading my books. I was chill. I was like, all right, I'm cool because I'm happy. I went through it and I feel more comfortable knowing that I took my time.
Right. Right.
So I think that was the blessing of the second day that kind of,
It made up for the
yeah,
first day.
yeah,
Honestly, I think we our first day was like we're just kind of moseying. The second day we were like, yeah, we got this.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, I did see a lot of things that usually are at cons. I got to see them on the second day. Like Tea Absinthe,
Yes,
that is my booth.
yeah,
But I did get other teas as well this time around. I'm
yeah,
very happy with them.
yeah,
So yeah, it was good.
right,
I
yeah,
felt
comfortable.
for what we paid for and what we
Mm-hmm.
got. I am very happy with my little haul
Yeah.
that I got. I am very happy that I did stay in that one really long line.
Hmm. Yeah.
um, at the end of it, we also did take a group picture when we first got there. So we were we
We're
were
happy with
we were happy with what
uh,
we did.
at
My
the end.
friend did great at her booth. She
Yeah.
did make a good, comeback.
Yeah.
Now, question is, would you want to go back next year?
And they already dropped the dates.
It's 2 days next year again. See?
All right. And we wouldn't know how they're going to do the setup.
Mind you, Christina Rogers, who was also VP for NYCC, I guess she bowed out and she's doing other little things now. Um, she put out a statement today.
Oh, today.
Today, it was more about that we heard your concerns and we're willing to grow and change and do other things. There is a survey that is supposed to have come out already, but hasn't yet. Um,
Oh, I'm going to be on top of that.
oh yeah, the survey is going to hear us.
Sure will.
But again, the question being, you have not seen this from the VP, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Would you try it again next year?
If they take everyone's point of view and issues into account and actually do better. So here's my thing. There was another, the reason we were secluded to that one building is uh
There were two other events.
there were, yes, there were other events that were actually set up, which are coming were for this upcoming weekend, hence why they couldn't have the main floor. And they couldn't let people just roam around because they had to make sure that they didn't get into the other parts of the building that they were setting up for. With that being said, I understand that, all right, that was happening, so hence why they did what they did. What I will say is, if Khan could do it better, where honestly, guys, there, everything that they put across these 4 floors could have easily fit on the one main floor,
On the
because
show
they're
floor.
on the show
Boom.
floor. Period. You would have only needed the one floor
It would have been
and,
perfect
and
on
it would
both
have been done
sides.
on both sides. You wouldn't have everything would have fit, even panels. That's how like
Well, the panels would have had to be on the bottom floor,
uh,
but it
but
would have been fine.
it would have been fine. Honestly, it would have been fine. There wasn't, to me, big enough to have taken up the whole show floor. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, it didn't need to be broken up the way it did on those several floors. Everything would have fit on one freaking floor. They could have put everything literally on the basement
Kind
floor.
of like Anime NYC.
Yeah, if they had opened up the whole floor for, everything would have fit. Everything would have fit easily. Um it's debatable right now because I could say no right now, but I could change my mind when the tickets drop. Because that always seems to happen. I always feel like I'm
We
only
do this every
going
year with Comic Con
I'm
too.
only going one day to New York and I end up going two. I'm only going and I end up going three. So I could say no right now. I could say that because of this experience, I really don't want to do it. But if they do take everyone's issues and concerns into account, then I can't say I wouldn't go. I don't know. But right now, the way I feel about what happened, I would back out. I would want to go to a smaller book con, maybe knowing they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sadly, we live in a city that
Right.
doesn't have a lot of book conventions.
Right.
Would I go again? I would give it another chance. I would, but if I needed to cut my losses early, you dang right I would. I'm out. Do I think they need to not sell as many tickets and not be pressured into selling more tickets?
Yeah.
Don't release a second drop. Do what you're gonna do. If you're gonna sell 4,000 or 10,000 tickets, that's it. If they didn't make it, they didn't make it. So many people started selling their tickets the days before. Mind you, I was looking for tickets for my friends. That's how I know. That you anyone who didn't get it could have gotten the tickets.
Yeah.
Now, anyone who is looking specifically for free books, go to Barnes and Noble's Book Fest.
Yeah.
Pay the $50 for your 45 minutes, grab your 30 books and go.
Yeah.
Is that something I'm thinking about doing? Probably not. Because
I'm not gonna lie. When we first heard about it, I was like, absolutely not. I'm paying $50 for an hour and I'm snatching books. But then when you think about it, all those 30 books are way
I'm
over
walking,
$50 value.
I'm walking out with a great value of books.
But I just don't want to fight
people. I don't want to fight people.
That's the thing. I don't want to fight
I just want.
and
I
45
just want
time limit is crazy.
I just want y'all to get me in a line. I'm number 3 in line and I walk around and you just give me every book and I walk out.
Right.
Can we have some organization?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. If I have a 3:00 slot and I showed up at 2:30 to line up and they're like, you're number 7 in line, you can go get something to eat and come back, I will still be number 7 in line. That's just it. Yeah. Can we have some organization for these book fests?
Yeah.
Or these book cons?
And I think the part that kills me is, a lot of people go to these cons and like you said, people spend $400, $900 and to see the swag that they got, which was pitiful.
Oh my gosh, that's swag.
To go around and some of the free stuff that you were given, it was a bookmark, guys. It was when they were saying, oh, you could get a free book at this booth, it was an ebook. It's like, you could have given me that code anytime in my phone at any point. I didn't need to stand in this damn line for an ebook. A lot of the books given, or quote unquote books given, it wasn't even that worth it. And a majority of it, they were giving out free paper, y'all. Paper. I'm not even joking. They were like, you want a free paper? And I'm saying, oh,
it's like, you want to, it's an autograph sheet. So you're supposed to have authors autograph it, and it's all in one sheet.
It's a cardstock paper, y'all. Don't let Kimberley fool you right here. Okay. Some of the stuff I liked a really nice poster that I got. It was for free, and mad people were asking for it, trying to take it. I was like, we're not about that life. But other things that I thought, I was like, stickers. We're giving away just free stickers. We're just giving away bookmarks, and we're giving away, like, the swag bag was embarrassing.
The
You
swag
spent
bag.
$900 to get in VI premium VIP, and you're telling me that your swag bag didn't even have a whole book in it?
I think no, I don't think it had a book in
It
it.
didn't see one in when I saw the swag bag, bro. I was just like, apps. I spent 900, almost $1,000 for this. And the thing is, you just got in the same way as a regular VIP. Absolutely not. You're telling me I didn't even get like 3 books?
I think yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was. You got a choice of like 2 books, like of the advanced reader copy books, but I'm not 100%
Absolutely
sure.
not. It's not worth it. Not for $900. Not for $900. You might as well just spend the $400 and get into VIP. Just be able to get in early. But you got premium VIP, and it was like, guys, it was like Fire Festival. They got a tray of slices
Stop.
of bread and cheese. It was not okay. That's not okay. Not for $900.
Not for $900. You're right.
No, not for that. You got to tell me that they have an all access secluded room with gold and wine and everything. You could just walk around in a charcuterie board. That makes sense. But tell me that basically you just got in early and a bag? No, absolutely the flip not. I believe they also got like 2 reservations or something like
You
that.
got like I think it was like 2 reservations
Not,
as well.
not
Hold
also
on, we
not
gonna
worth
we
it,
gonna
yo.
go to the actual site
I'm sorry.
because I don't have all the information.
All I can tell you was it wasn't worth $900.
It no, I was not.
No.
First off, when we saw them tickets, we wasn't paying that much. All right,
But it wasn't worth it.
it wasn't. It really wasn't worth it. It really, truly
Wasn't
worth.
was not worth it. Yeah. Again, right
I'm
now in my
hoping.
soul and spirit, I can't say yes to it.
I'm really hoping that they hear everything
Yeah.
that everyone said
Yeah.
and really and truly like are like, okay, we hear you
I mean, we're gonna do better.
and we're gonna do better.
Mhm.
We are gonna do better. Really, really hoping
Yeah.
that is the
But
goal.
that was the con experience. Book con experience. We do have, Anime Con is coming up, and NYCC. As you guys know, you girls are some con lovers, and hopefully we'll get to go to other cons. We do have some other things to talk about, but this will be for other episodes, and experiences that we've recently had within these last couple months.
It's been crazy. Like I said, life been life.
Yeah. But we're hoping to get back into this, and we hope you enjoyed our
rant.
We think we need to get this off our chest.
We've been talking to each other about it, and it's just like we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it. We got to let the people know.
So, yeah. All right, so if you have anything to say about BookCon, or you are like, yo, that was crazy, that's wild, or you went to BookCon and you want to let us know about your experience,
You had a different experience than us.
Yeah, because we have literally seen and read different people's experiences, and some of them were like, okay, and some of them were like, whoa, some of them were sad, and some of them were disappointing, and some of them were like really good. Some people had a really great experience. So let us know. Comment, message. You could hit us up on our Instagram. Of course, you could, wherever you hear us,
we're on Spotify,
Amazon, Google, wherever you listen to us, hit us up and let us know your experiences. And would you go to this book con, or would you go to any other con? Let us know. Can't wait to hear from you guys. This has been a great episode, and yeah, we'll be talking to you soon. This has been
My Kinda Convo.